Good morning, good morning, good morning. This is
Good
Sunday. We're
morning.
thankful you're here. Got Corey down here, David, got Ryan to my side. We're all having fun. It's a Sunday morning coffee talk, so hopefully you brought something to drink. And if you got any questions, bring them up in the chat. Today is, I don't know, something really neat to me. I've come up to my 49th episode. So this is my 49er episode, my 49er birthday to the channel. And I think it's just super cool. So thank you guys for being here. And let's go Niners. We'll talk a little bit of football and have a good day. Throwback, thank you for coming. I don't know if you stuck around for the show the other day, but we got a shout out to you for your channel. And I think we got a couple extra subs for you. So you just keep grinding, doing what you're doing. We appreciate you. I got Andy coming in. What up, Annie? Hopefully you're doing really well. We're going to come see you here soon. We got Bebop, our guy Carcast. Thank you so much for coming. So, hey guys, what do you think about starting out with a joke? It's been a little while since I told you guys a joke. Well, maybe a good one. So, because it's July and June and right around that, it's not July, but let's get this out of the way. So April flowers, right? April showers bring May flowers. What do May flowers bring?
Pilgrims.
They bring June bugs.
That's not correct.
What's the flower start at?
Ask Plymouth Rock.
All right. So, how's everybody doing today? We got Bebop disc golf in, and the fam's doing good, riding our boards. Cool. So,
Bebop, do you have a beer in your hand?
No, I have a cup of coffee.
No, I said Bebop.
Bebop.
Oh,
Because if you're
Bebop,
playing
yeah.
disc golf, if anything related to golf, you better be having a little bit of a beer or an alcoholic drink.
Disc golf is fun. Disc golf is a lot of fun. And he told me he does this, and I have a couple buddies that actually do it. So, yeah, that's really exciting. There was a big tournament a couple of weeks ago. Bebop brought it up to me and said, "Hey, it's going on here." So that's actually
he said
really
he drinks
cool.
this morning.
Yep. How was the concert?
Yeah, let us know how the concert was and who it was.
Yeah, I think he said it the other night, and I wasn't able to remember, but yeah, that's awesome. When you get to go out to festivals and do stuff like that, and you're part of the crowd and stuff like that, it definitely gives you a different spin on the world, makes you feel a little bit better. Hopefully, if not, then yeah, you need to get around with other people maybe. All right, so let's get into this. We're going to be talking about the Bosa, our Bosa, right? Because there's two. So we got Baby Bear. And what they're saying with him,
Little Bear,
is he's Baby Bear, Little Bear. I like the
Little Bear.
All right, so Ryan's correct. He is Little Bear. Nobody wants to be a baby on the football field. So what I got right here is a projected average amount that he is hoping for. So with Bosa being signed, you guys are the 49ers GM. You guys get to make this decision. Are we going to make him a 30 million guy, 35 million guy, or are we going to try to sign him cheap? This is Bosa. What do you think, Corey? Corey, let's go with Corey.
I think we're gonna sign him for 30. We could sign him for 30 million. That's what I think he's gonna go for. A 30 million deal. Now I don't know what the bonus and all that stuff gonna be. I can't tell you all that. I don't know how to even figure that out. I'm not a math genius. But I think he's gonna make 30 million.
30 million.
Maybe I don't know how many years they might put on that. Probably at least like 3 or 4 years, maybe. I don't know. I'm not sure how they break it down. You know how they.
Yeah. So you think he'll get about 30 million a year, though?
Yeah.
Okay. Ryan, what are you thinking? What would you be paying Mr. Bosa?
I don't know. It all depends on how it's structured. I see him settling for less and for more guaranteed. You know what I mean? So I would say anywhere between the 33 and 30 range. It could even be a 29 or a 28, but it'd be like heavily guaranteed. You know what I mean? So it's like, hey, we'll make sure you get paid. We just want to make sure the cap hit isn't as bad. You know what I mean? We got you a homeboy. You know what I mean? Will that work with you? And I think it will. I think he's always been worried about making sure he gets his money because he's had injury issues in the past. So I think giving him guaranteed money will cheapen his essentially cap hit. So I don't have a number for you because it's, it hasn't been determined yet. You know what I mean? Like I have no feel for it, what they're thinking in the 49ers on how they're going to slide this guaranteed / cap hit. You know what I mean? So.
All right. David, what are your thoughts on Bosa? You can pay him, or are you going to try to go a little cheaper on him, or are you going to give him, you just throwing everything at him? What's your thoughts?
Well, the thought, he's looking for money, so he'll probably take more guaranteed money than throwing the incentives and throw all the junk on it to make it worth more. So I'm honestly looking at a 4 or 5 year contract worth annually 28 million, 29 million, somewhere around there. That's honestly what I think is going to happen.
Do you think there's a void year?
We don't know. And we got probably a month and a half before we find out. Let's be honest.
Do you think there's a void year?
There might be. I mean, they do that a lot. They do that with Juice. That might be the 5th year is the void year. But they do that with Juice. But the way this guy takes care of himself, he did have that ACL injury on that trash turf at that New Jersey stadium. So, which is being what we've heard from our New York Giants compadre is it's being tore up and they're throwing grass in. So the league's probably celebrating because that field took out a lot of players.
Do you remember when it rained over there really bad and like the turf pooled up, like certain parts of it like bubbled up to where certain parts was underwater and then like air got under other parts of it and it just raised up in a bubble to where like the water couldn't go over the top of it like the rest, and it was like 6 spots in the field.
Yeah, that stuff was horrible. I don't know what they used. It's like I guess you get what you pay for. I don't know. I don't know what the Giants and Jets were thinking. But at the same time,
to save money.
I'm still a big fan of a $6 to $8 billion franchise having its own stadium. But what do I know, right? Sharon is Karen, I guess.
So that's interesting that you brought that point up. No, it's an interesting point because you're right. These franchises have enough money to have their own stadium, and there's enough room in a city to have multiple stadiums. Yeah, it might be convenient for them to go to one place at one time, instead of, parking and all that, and everybody's like, okay, we're going to go to the stadium. Okay, who are you going to see? Well, that's the question because there's like 5 teams that play there. But what's interesting is that when like the Niners, they tried to keep the Raiders in town. The NFL tried to keep them in Oakland. The Niners offered to let them stay at Levi's for a season or two. The Raiders refused. So they chose to move on because they wanted a bigger, flashier stadium. So like teams like the Jersey, Jets and the Giants, for them to collab and have a stadium together, it just doesn't make sense to me. And then for their stadium to be as bad as it is too, as bad. There's been multiple injuries come out of that stadium from different teams. I know we don't like going there for sure. So I just can't see it. They definitely need to do something. And I think there was somebody who brought up a point. Maybe it was the other night. I don't think I was on the show. I think I was watching soccer. They play on grass. They don't play on turf. So why are we doing that with football players? Let's make it the same field every stadium. I want to go for hole in every stadium. You know what I mean? Like it's got to be the same as all high school football fields, right? Like let's make it universal. So the thoughts with me with Bosa is the guy's come out and said that he wants to get paid. The guy has also said he's confident he'll get paid what he deserves. And he's also said that he'll take a team deal. So this guy, he wants to be a Niner. He wants to be a Niner. He's dedicated. He's determined. We can go through these pictures again real quick. I mean, this guy is a beast.
He's making good on that promise to make the Arizona Cardinals regret the decision of not picking him first overall. And he wants to stay here to make sure he's always in the thorn in the side of that organization twice to maybe 3 times a year.
Yeah, because I think that really bothered him not being able to be taken first. I really think it did. I don't think he really cared what team he was going to go to. He's confident enough in himself that he can help the team, achieve what he ultimately wants. And
he also might have liked going. He also might have liked going to Arizona because it's a little, more conservative there. You know what I mean? Look at the funk he got when he got drafted to the 49ers. People are worrying about his political stuff. Like we drafted him to be our senator. You know what I'm saying? He's here to get after the quarterback. He's great at that. That's why he's here. Don't worry about his other stuff because it means nothing on the field. You know what I'm saying? Everybody tried to paint him as a certain light, and everybody in that locker room, no matter what color, size, or creed, loves that man. So it was like a whole bunch of bullshit for nothing.
That's a good point. It really is, because if he could have went to a different team that maybe wasn't so political, and it's not saying the Niners are super political, it's just the Bay Area where they're from. So it's one of those things. But I really agree. And I hope you guys see what I'm saying too. He could have went to the Browns, the Jaguars. He could have went anywhere and made that team a super team. He's been on the 49ers for 4 years now. And come on, we haven't been a better team really without him. So
this is a great Sunday morning.
Hey, Wolf.
Wolf. How you doing, Wolf?
We appreciate you. We appreciate everybody in the chat. We got Gav in the chat, Damian Lee. Yep. We got, Tony Throwback. Everybody popping up. We really do appreciate you guys.
Make sure everybody goes out and subscribes to 49ers Throwback. He's got a great channel there. Let's get him to 50 subs. Pow.
Yeah, Throwback has a great channel. And if you guys haven't checked it out, please go check it out. He's doing a lot of great things on his channel, and he supports the whole community. So we want to help support you, and thank you for coming through. But yeah, I think Bosa has a little bit of retaliation. He has that mentality. He wants to always show the Cardinals, you shouldn't have forgot about me. So I like that point. All right, we will work on that. So with that, guys, it's the 49th episode. Let's pass it around to everybody. I wanted to talk a little bit about Bosa and his contract. I think we all know, and I think we all believe he's going to get paid. I think it's just a matter of time. And it's probably going to come around preseason, training camp. So with that, guys, I'm going to pass it to you, David. What would you like to ask the panel or anybody in the chat? It's the 49th episode. I'd like to keep it friendly and fun. It's like our 49er episode. So thank you for coming. And if you got a question or if you need me to come back to you, but anything 49er, anything you want to ask, let's talk. Hope everybody's got the coffee cups. Thanks.
I don't have mine with me today. Haven't made my breakfast yet.
Yeah, but you got that 49er cup right there, so that's good enough. But so
Yeah, you count.
the front office.
That's a
The front
waste
office.
bin.
That's a waste
We
trash
keep hearing all this, talk about Adam Peters leaving and becoming a GM somewhere. So, do you guys think, in the next season or two, Adam Peters will take John Lynch's spot and John Lynch gets moved up to what, vice
Prague.
president, co-president? Some sort of, it's up to Jed York. He can make up a spot for him if he wants. But either way, we got to keep Adam Peters.
So
Okay,
about these terms like the COO and all that stuff, right? Elon Musk said he's like, they're all made up. He's like, it's just phony titles and stuff like that. So he changed his from like CEO to Techno King.
Hey, so with the things that's happening with Prague and the Niners buying a portion of the owner, or the soccer team being a new asset, do you think they're trying to get Prague out of the 49ers front office?
I think Prague, he just became a big owner in the Leeds ownership, right? And then the 49ers bought out the York company, the York family bought out the rest of it. I think he's moving over and he's going to run Leeds. I think this is, you move over here, so it's like it's a promotion. You know what I'm saying? It's a promotion. You're going to be essentially the president. You're going to be Jed York on the other side of Leeds. But, Jed York is going to be your boss. He's going to be the board. The York family is going to be the board of directors. You know what I mean? And Prague will be running that. Adam Peters is going to get the GM position. And then John Lynch is going to move up, because that's the one thing that John Lynch was here for, is he's here to give Jed York credibility. You know what I mean? He's here to be that rock for the players, the person who can go and talk to a player and they're just like, oh shit, you bring in the wolf. You know what I'm saying? Like, John Lynch is, if you ever seen Pulp Fiction, Jules and what's his name, Vincent, get into a sticky situation and they need some help, and they call Marcellus Wallace, and Marcellus Wallace says, I'm sending the wolf. John Lynch is the wolf. You got issues, John Lynch is going to go there, be a man, and talk it out. And he's probably going to get things settled, because he's just got this thing around him where he could just, he could be a politician, I'm telling you. And I probably hope he never does, because it doesn't work out well. So I'd rather him just be the 49ers vice president.
Yeah, I think so. But I kind of think they're trying to get him out of the Prague, just out of the Niners office right there. His duties, I think, are going to be a little, not diminished, but I think he's going to be a little bit busier with, like you said, over there with the soccer team. So it's going to be interesting. Maybe they do move, like maybe Adam Peters up a little bit for like those kind of duties, or maybe we got somebody new. So I encourage the move. Hopefully,
that's why he gave up on all those jobs.
Yeah, I think so. Corey, what do you think? Are they trying to get rid of Parag, or are they trying to move him on, or are we trying to get more like new blood in the office, or is Parag still going to be doing what he does?
I guess I really don't know nothing much about, Prague, who he is and what he does. I haven't really studied him, so.
Prague is the one. Prague's the one that does all the contracts. Prague is the money man. He's like the bean counter. And this is a good. Do you think that John Lynch has been like his understudy this whole time, while Adam Peters has been essentially taking over John Lynch's job, or / learning that? You think they both kind of been job shadowing the person in front of them? You know what I mean? Type thing.
Yeah.
Getting ready for this transition already.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, Prague. Oh yeah, they the ones that say Prague be one working them deals, and sometimes he like to be cheap.
Yeah,
Saving
he
money.
was about to let Raheem Mostert um, walk over like a million or two.
Yeah, they might be. They might be
Yes,
trying to
Prague is.
push him out. They might be trying to push him out and push him where he might be too busy to go with the soccer, do the soccer thing, and they might just let him concentrate over on that. He'll be still with the 49ers, but just concentrating on more of the soccer than the NFL, trying to make the Yorks money.
Yeah, I wonder if there's something different about like soccer contracts that maybe me a little bit more uh, troublesome. And so he's like, "Hey, Parag, you're so good with contracts over here. Let me move you over there, and maybe you can, you know, be a weapon for us to jumpstart this team. You know what I mean? We can structure contracts a certain way to get certain
Mm-hmm.
talent in here that we might not be able to get if we didn't have somebody who was so well at making contracts. You know what I mean? So maybe that's the thing." Scott, oh,
So
Thanks,
Scotty
Scott.
Hill.
Thanks for coming through, man. We appreciate you. And if you
want to
haven't
say shout
heard
out to
about Rob,
187.
if you haven't heard about Corey or David, these are my guys. We usually do stuff together. They all have channels. Please check them out too. And appreciate you coming through. If you got any questions, Scott, hopefully you brought a cup of coffee. We're going to be having a nice 49er conversation. We'll get off a little bit, go into different topics a little bit, but we try to keep it football. So, yeah, thanks for coming. Please, hit the like button, share, subscribe, and ask questions if you got any. Yeah, chat's popping. We got 49er throwback still here. Jeff's in here. John says he's going to be a little late. Well, he doesn't think that he's going to make it today, it sounds like. So that's okay, John. We appreciate you for coming through, though. So, David, when you're ready, I'd like to hear what you thought about Prague. And I'm really interested. I think they're trying to get him out of the Niners. Not that they don't like him. I just think that it's time to see what he can do somewhere else. And I think maybe like what you said, Ryan, there's a point to be made about maybe his contracts and his finagling where maybe they need him overseas. And for right now, the Niners have a good enough structure where we can let somebody else play with the numbers, and maybe he can supersede it. But for right now, he needs to go. He needs to go over there and maybe handle business. So, what are your thoughts, David?
I honestly don't know if he has a soccer background or not. Well, they call it football, but it's just I'm not sure about that. But at the
Real
same
quick.
time, there has to be someone from the organization,
So
from the Yorks
he's got
organization over there.
he's
And
got
why
background
not?
on rugby. He sat on like the panel
Okay.
for rugby. So he's got some sort of knowledge of that type of world almost.
Well, that's good. And I don't know. I mean, the Leeds, they actually have a history similar to the 49ers, but they haven't done much lately. So the question is, what, are the Yorks trying to, win a championship over there and over here at the same time, which if they could pull that off, more power to them. But they have owned the 49ers for a long time and not done much. Well, not done anything with it, actually, 0 Super Bowls. So, now they own a major league soccer team overseas, and Prague, he seems like the guy to send over there, but it's yet to be seen how they're going to structure the management over there and everything else. That's probably going to be coming out in the next several weeks. And I mean, John Lynch, like I said, he's going to get moved up to VP. Adam, Peter's going to take his spot, and then all those good scouts. So one of those guys is going to get promoted to Adam Peters' spot. I mean, it's just going to. So some people you got to keep around, and Adam Peters and some of the scouts we have, you have to keep those guys around. Look what they do late in the NFL draft. When it comes to salary cap analysts, and pretty much what Prague's job is, there's a few people out there that know how to do that. You actually, believe it or not, you I think you have to go to school to learn NFL salary cap analysis and how to actually structure things to, favor the team and pay the player. There's a lot to it. I was actually looking at that and I was like, I'm no dummy when it comes to mathematics, and I'm looking at that going, wow, you have to you literally have to go to college and learn a lot about mathematics to be able to pull this off.
Yeah, I was gonna have Jason Hurley on yesterday. Our schedules got a little bit different, so we're gonna move for him to try to come back maybe next weekend or something. I'm gonna have him touch a little bit on this as well because Jason's very smart and he knows the numbers, but there's some ins and outs and stuff. And I think you're right, David. I think you have to go to college for some of this stuff. I don't know if you have to become a lawyer for some of this kind of, contracts, but I know you have to know the terminology and you definitely have to know how to be strong because you just can't give the players everything. You really just can't. And it's hard because, us as fans, we want to see the players stay, but at the end of the day, it's not our money. So they got to take what the team's offering, and if they can't make a deal, then they got to go somewhere else. But Parag's been he's been that guy in the back of the room for the longest time, and maybe he's been the guy that's really helped things along the way. But I would like to see somebody come in and maybe help as well, because I think sometimes when you have too many people you've known for too long and you've worked with for too long, sometimes you have to change things up a little bit. And if all these guys have been around the organization and not all of them, John Lynch hasn't, Adam Peters hasn't, but when we have a lot of these guys that's been in the front office around Jed York or his dad since 2002 or 2004, we haven't really won too much. We went to some playoff games. We went to 2 Super Bowls, but if you count that as success, going to the Super Bowl, that's not the type of success this franchise wants. We want to win the Super Bowl. Now, if we would have won 2 Super Bowls since they have been on, I don't think anybody would really be complaining too much. They'd still be a little hungry and we'd still be loud and vocal, but I don't think we would have too much to say if we would have won in 2012, 2013, 2019, I think it would have silenced us, or we would have, been like, okay, appeased maybe for a few more years, but it's been like 29 years and we've had the same type of leadership since then. So I don't know. Don't bet on your team, that's for sure. And if you're in a sports team or anything, don't bet on what you're doing for sure. And if you're in Louisiana, don't get caught. I guess that's what we should say. But
I have a question.
I don't know. I mean, go ahead.
Who was the person that does it when Trim Bleak was in the house? Y'all know?
Parag was above. Yeah, Parag was above Balky, or Balky's the general manager like Lynch. So both of them, they make player decisions, but they don't get to decide their contract necessarily. They have a big voice on what they think that person should be made, but at the end of the day, they got to go up to the contract man, and that's Parag.
He's been around for a minute. Okay. He's been with the organization a long time. He's I think he's like a friend of the family kind of thing.
Yeah.
I used to be mad at Trim Bleak for this. I used to blame him. He always say, "Oh, we're gonna pay this guy. We're gonna pay him," and all something. Boom, they don't get paid. They gone. Like Gore, like Walker. I'll look at like for them, pay him, and they come out and say, "Oh, we're gonna pay him. He's gonna be a 49er," and all of a sudden, nope, he's gone.
And I think you need a guy like him, in the, who's stingy like that when it comes to the money. Mm-hmm. But then you need to be able to override him. You need to be like, hey, I love what you're doing, but not this time. Don't worry about this. Just give him what he wants. Make sure he comes back. Okay. Like they did with Raheem Mostert.
I think there's good points to be made to that too, because sometimes you have to be stingy, but there's been times where they were too stingy and then our defense took a step back. We all can complain about the defensive backs for years. For years, we haven't had defensive backs. We've had the linebackers, but we haven't had the backs. We had Jimmy Ward for a long time, but he was always hurt. So when we had somebody like Deshaun Goldson or Whitner, Hittner, and we let them go. And then the next season, our team really does take a step back. Or like what you said, Delaney Walker. And then we had Vernon Davis and Delaney Walker. We let Delaney go, and then we take a step back again. There's something, and the Cardinals saying, guys, I'm sorry, now you got me worked up. We let Frank Gore go. Why? I mean, come on, the guy, and then we didn't sign him back. I mean, I don't know. The guy literally begged to get signed back, and we still didn't do it. So, all right, I'm a little bit better now. Hey, shout out to CG, Crazy Juice, and we got Raphael in here. Thank you very much for coming, guys.
What up, Raphael? What up, Crazy Juice?
What's up?
All right, so Corey, in your eyes, in the last, I don't know, let's just say maybe 20 years, who was a player that you really wanted the Niners to sign back, but for whatever reason, they let him walk away? We'll give everybody the same question.
There's one player?
You can
Yeah, because you don't need to take mine too.
I wanted them to, keep Jerry Rice, stay. I didn't want him going to all these other teams. I wanted him to stay. And also, I wanted Deion Sanders to stay.
Oh, you took mine.
I wanted Sanders and Rice to stay. Because I like the way Deion, could take one side of the field and quarterbacks don't hardly want to throw that side.
Deion wasn't going to stay, though. Deion didn't want to be with Jerry. And you weren't getting rid of Jerry then. You know what I mean? Like, that would have just, everybody had been like, what the hell? So it had to go that way. Charles Haley is the guy that I think was the big wrecker in our dreams for the rest of our dynasty, I would say. Losing him, I think, was the downfall. I know that Deion Sanders brought a lot to us in that year, but when you look at what happened in the years after we lost Charles Haley, not only were we not as dominant on our line, but he was dominant against our offensive line. So it was instead of losing one point, you were losing 2 points. You know what I mean? Like it was bad. So he hurt us whenever we went up against him, and that was always when we needed to get to the Super Bowl. So yeah, Charles Haley.
Yeah, me too. I agree.
You can't have three, Corey.
David, who's your shoulda, woulda, wished we would have, but they left or we let them go?
Julian Peterson.
Oh wow!
I mean, I do have to agree with these other two. I mean, losing those guys, like Brian makes an excellent point about Charles Haley. But when it comes to Julian Peterson, it was like they messed around with the guy. They used the franchise tag. He didn't want that, and then we were actually getting hit for salary cap issues at that point. And, we literally couldn't keep him. But at the same time, he went to Seattle. And then the first game against the Seahawks, he wrecks Alex Smith. Like literally, when he hit him, he got that was the guy that hit him, and then when he got injured. So keeping Julian Peterson would have helped our defense, overall period, because the guy he could play edge or linebacker. He was one of those very versatile players.
Yeah, I remember Julian Peterson. We drafted him to go up against Steven Jackson of the Rams, and because that dude was huge, and Julian was really good. So I'm not the biggest fan of this guy. I like him, but I'm gonna say it. I think we got rid of Jeff Garcia too soon. I think they let Owens go and they let Garcia go first, and we didn't know what to do after that. And we were stuck with Tim Rattay. So I'm not blaming the transition on him or the downfall or the organization kind of like taking several years back. But I think if we would have had Jeff Garcia a little longer, we might have still been able to pick up Aaron Rodgers. We don't. I mean, like we might not have had the number 1 draft pick that year. We still might have been able to like come away with a good quarterback in 2004. So I really am upset that they let Jeff Garcia go because he wasn't the deepest passer, but he could get things done. And we had players around us. It wasn't all Owens. So we could have let Owens go and we could have rebuilt and, modestly rebuilt. But I like what Corey said too, Jerry Rice. I was very upset when they let Gore go. So that would be my 3. But yeah, you guys brought good points. Charles Haley, when did we actually lose him? Was it the 92-93 season we lost him? Because was he on the 94 team?
Yeah.
No,
No.
he wasn't on
No.
the 94 team.
Oh.
He went to the Cowboys, I think, in like 92 and 93. That's why they won the Super Bowls there. And then we got Dion, and Dion was our push. That's what made it better for us. We got him back, 96, 97 or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
But
it was like 97 and 98, I think, is when we signed him back.
Yeah.
And by that time, it was all done and over with. Our main years were leading up to that.
Yeah.
Well, do you guys think we would have won another Super Bowl if Steve Young would have stayed healthy?
I don't know.
I kind of think we would have because we had T.O. and Rice, and we had Charlie Gardner at the time. We were doing really good. We had Garrison Hurst. If he would have,
we also had the Packers to go up against. That was our new Cowboys.
Yeah, but we beat the Packers, and then we lost against the Falcons. So
right, we beat the Packers like once in the playoffs.
Yeah,
that stand. Yeah, but they were owning us the whole time. Other than that, that's what I'm saying. Like they had our number.
They went to the Super Bowl 2 years in a row, and then we finally beat them. And then once we beat them, then we lost to the Falcons, who went to lose against the Broncos, who also beat the Packers in the Super Bowl. I mean, it's like full circle there. It's like, oh my gosh. But yeah, Garrison Hurst, his ankle breaking, I think that was probably the breaking of our franchise right there. Like the dynasty was over after that play.
Shout out to Garrison Hurst, one of my favorite 49ers ball carriers ever. We had so many good ones. We've had so many good ones. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's the thing about us Niners, because our coaches go, to other teams and coach to other teams. So now they know what we running. They know our system.
They're also looking for the same players.
And they know our system. They just say, hey, I know how to beat them because we was there. And let's the coach do some change up, and stuff going against his own coaches. And Mike Hogan, he knew the 49 system. He knew that was so hard for us to beat him because he knew what we gonna do. That's what makes it so hard. I love that our coaches get hired. That all our coaches, all the other teams look at our coaches, get our organization, and want to copy us. I hate that sometimes.
Back in the day, you used to get nothing for it. We would lose coaches, we would lose front office personnel, we would lose very good people, and you would get nothing for it. Nowadays, they're giving us the compensation picks, and the 49ers are playing that fiddle excellent. If we step up and make a Super Bowl, win a Super Bowl or two, then that's like that caps it all off, right? That makes everything worth it. But at the same time, it's almost like the Yorks are just happy with the chase and getting close, and that is no. You got to win Super Bowls.
How do you trade for Christian McCaffrey? Give up 4 or 5 assets, as far as not assets, but draft capital, draft picks, and then turn around and have 11 picks in the draft?
Yeah. That's
Holy
that's
shit.
why we traded for him. They were like, no big deal. We got plenty of draft picks.
Why not? Like, to me, it makes sense, especially like, and I made this point. I can't remember where, but with us not having a first round pick, right? And all these other picks, and all we have is like 3/3 and then, a fifth and sixth and seventh. Those people we draft in the fifth, sixth, and seventh, we don't have to worry about people really claiming them off waivers. You know what I mean? Unless they do really big stuff in preseason. Those guys can go. If we had like a first round draft pick, you know what I mean, that needed time to mature and, and develop, Trey Lance, we wouldn't have to, like try and figure out a way to try and put him anywhere, or move somebody off, and try and get them on the team to make room for him on the team. You know what I mean? Like, not to say that should happen to Trey Lance, but they decided, to get Trey Lance, needed development, and then they didn't develop him correctly and sat him, and oh man, they ruined his start.
Yeah.
Bryant, you going through your taxes there?
No, I found something that I think was going to be really fun to talk about, and I'm just kind of seeing if I still have it. And I'm going to show you guys. I like to keep newspaper clippings,
I knew
and
there was
I don't think
newspapers.
I have it in the house, but I actually have the. It's not fun to look at, but I actually have the newspaper sports article where. Oh my gosh, I'm blanking on his name now. Garrison Hurst broke his ankle, and yeah, I got the picture. It's like really ugly, but I got some cool highlight pictures. Got Frank Gore right here, back in the day, and then this one. Shout out to YTC. Here come the Giants. Yeah, not necessarily the best game or the worst game because we beat them a couple times there too. And then this game, I know we talked about it before. I know not everybody here. This means a lot to me. This game does. This is the catch 3.
Yeah.
Yep, that's when Vernon became a man. Vernon Davis, strength against strength. He was unstoppable. And then
I wouldn't go that far.
For
He
a
saw
short period
ghosts.
of time,
He saw ghosts. He ended up seeing ghosts.
not until he ran into the Legion of Boom.
Ooh.
Check it out. You guys
Nobody.
remember this? Nobody.
Yeah.
That's right. So,
Somebody.
quick, this one's fun. Just the top of the headline. 9-1. First time since 2002. I mean, we were rolling. We got Harbaugh. We started rolling. And the last show and tell. I like this picture. 3 reasons. Got Harbaugh right there and Alex Smith. And you know what? The best thing that happened to Alex Smith was Harbaugh. If he wouldn't have came, I think we would have. I don't think Alex would have still been here if Singletary would have been our coach. I think it was time for a change. It was either coach or it was quarterback. And shout out to Alex Smith. He had success elsewhere, but
And we got both.
Mm-hmm.
So, David, what are you thinking? What's your thoughts on the Niners right now? Are you excited that they're taking a little bit more time off, that they moved the OTAs up, or are you a little disappointed that they're not practicing those extra 2 days, or think it's just going to work out in the wash?
Well, what is 2 days in shorts gonna show? Yeah, some of the younger guys definitely need to work. They need to learn the system, and that probably those 2 days could make a difference for a few players here and there. But when it comes to all the core of the team, they don't need those 2 days. It would be, but our QB situation, it would be nice to see them working.
Yeah.
And especially Sam Darnold, need Ghostbusters.
Yeah.
But
Well, look at Brandon Allen.
I think I said something about that poltergeist that bit him in practice the other day where he fell down. That was like, he needs get an exorcism or something. He needs to work that out.
I heard the reports of Brandon Allen, being on fire. I think it was like 7 for 0, or he was like 7 for 1, or I don't know. He had the best numbers in camp one day, and then the next day he comes out and he's like 1 for 6. So I don't know, but Sam Darnold, he's either gonna improve on this team or he's out of the league after this season. He better show something. He really better show something.
He needs somebody to smudge his jock strap. You know what I mean? A good smudging, get some stage up in that thing, get his locker a little bit too. Maybe his cleats.
Well, something all our 49ers, the Empire needs to realize here is these QBs are going up against what defense? The number 1 defense in the league last year, folks. So, this guy didn't do too. Do you think it's his fault, or do you think our defensive players are just that good? And at the same time, we're talking about practice. These guys are supposed to be taking chances. They're supposed to be learning from their mistakes here. That's what practice is for.
We've also never really had a time where the offense was just whooping up on the defense in the last 3 or 4 years. You know what I mean? So, like, you're going, well, he's not winning these reps in practice. Show me a guy who was doing it consistently the last 4 years. Show me a guy.
Hey, even Kaepernick wasn't doing it. Kaepernick wasn't even doing it in the Harbaugh era. Alex Smith wasn't doing it. It was the defense that was dominant. It was the defense every time. And then when Kaepernick did come out there on the practice field, Jimmy Ward was like, we know you can run, Cap. We want to see you throw. So, I mean, there was a lot of things that was happening in practice. We've had a dominant defense for a long time. I don't know.
Defenses also kind of are the same throughout your stages of your career, from high school to pros. You know what I mean? Like, they've got the same type of thing. So you're not having to relearn things. A lot of sometimes you change and your responsibilities change. Okay. That's why sometimes on a certain play, someone can have wide open in the field. They were testing, a new set of rules out as far as the defensive scheme goes. And that's probably what happened. So when you've got the offensive players who were doing this play for the first time, you know what I'm saying? It's hard to get that. And as they go around, they start to get better at it. And you still got the defense who is doing a defense that they have more knowledge of than the offense does the play that they're running. So that's another thing to take into consideration.
I hate here, too. And then I'll be like, questioning them. They say, the quarterback's doing interception in practice and stuff. And then I'm like, but I'd like to hear that, in practice, not in the game, but that means our defense are doing their job.
Well, context matters.
I said the offense was up there just winning it every time, then you'd be like worrying about the defense.
If it was a bad throw, if it was an interception off a bad throw, that's something to take note of. Yeah. If it was an interception off of a quarterback trying to sneak a ball in a window, try and, figure out how much time he has, you know what I mean? Maybe it was a timing thing. Maybe he thought he could fit it in and he just couldn't. And that interception in practice knows in game, I don't have that. So I can't go there. You know what I mean? So that, to me, the last instant I talk about, that's what I want to have happen in practice. The first one, the inaccurate throw that leads to interception, that's not what I want in practice, because that's something you should be working on in the off season. Yeah. You know what I mean?
I think when tipped ball happens, like if it's tipped at the line by a defensive player, or if it hits a player's helmet, offense or defense, there should be like a scratch mark for the interception. There should be some kind of asterisk. If it hits my hands as a wide receiver, running back, tight end, whatever, and it gets up in the air, there should be an asterisk, so the quarterback doesn't take all the hit for the interception. If I catch the ball and drop it and the other guy, and it's still deemed somehow an interception, it shouldn't be on the quarterback. And like you just said, context matters. So if you're in practice and you're just like dropping back and boom, interception to the linebacker and no one's around, right? But if you're like interception in his deep pass and the corner just got underneath it and made a play, okay, that's like a timing or adjustment route where you need
Maybe
your
you need to look off the safety a little bit more before you turn and throw the ball. Maybe that's all
Yeah.
you need.
Mm,
Maybe that interception was the thing the coach, hey, you need to look him off more. And then next time, boom, breaks it in the game. Because why? Interception caused the change it needed to make the play happen.
Yeah, I agree. It's like sometimes you just have to have that chemistry with your wide receiver too. It's like, hey, you're super fast, but the guy next to you is super fast. I might have underthrown it. I need you to maybe cover me a little bit. I can get it to you, but I need you to get my back too, you know? So it's
Maybe
like,
I need you to back off at the beginning and then, at one point turn it off so you get a little bit more separation and then my weak arm can get there. You know what I mean? At the
yeah,
right time,
yeah, or vice versa. Maybe I got too big of an arm and you're not fast enough to get down there, you know? So
Right.
we got to do something. And maybe I just threw it just this side of you, you know, and you could have used this hand to come over and, you know, I mean, we got to work together. That's why it's like practice, you know? Hey, Crazy Juice brings up a great point. I'm gonna bring it up down here at the bottom. He says, I can't wait to see how Steve Wilkes improves our secondary. I think that's a great topic. What do you guys think?
I'm excited for the blitzing. I'm also excited for how he improves our secondary because I think that will allow us to blitz more in crucial situations. Like if a team is driving on us, right, and we get them in a 3rd and long, and they're like around the 30 or 40, around the 40 midfield, somewhere around there. That's I want to blitz. I want to blitz. I don't want to just rush 4. I want to make sure we clamp them down. They can't get anything early, and we get lots of pressure, making the quarterback have to get it out and make a bad throw, an errant throw, or a throwaway. And that's what I'm really excited for.
Corey, what do you think? How's Steve Wilkes going to improve this defense? Are we blitzing more? What do you think? How's the secondary going to improve?
I agree with Ryan. I think we're gonna probably blitz more, and get pressure, put a lot of pressure on that quarterback. If the quarterback don't have time,
Pressure.
if the quarterback don't have time in the backfield to throw, he gonna make a lot of mistakes, and he might get the Jimmy Hurry feet. He might get the Jimmy G Hurry feet.
God. That always scared me. I saw the choppy feet and I was like, no. And Purdy kind of does it too, but it doesn't give me the same feeling. It did in the beginning, but like after I saw, he just kind of, that's his thing, and it's not when he's terrified.
All right, pitching it to David. David, same question. How Steve Wilkes improved the secondary?
Press man coverage. We've been a zone coverage team since Kyle took over, and I honestly don't know if we've had corners capable of doing press man coverage, which Tavarius Ward, he comes from a system where he was doing a lot of press man coverage. So, and the press man coverage is going to free a body or two up. And that's going to, that's going to hurt them because a lot of teams will will try to get it to the linebacker. But, we got Fred Warner, who I might point out can actually cover wide receivers. I have to point this out. I've seen it happen. And our D line, throwing an extra body in there to rush the passer, you might as well put the GTA wasted on the quarterback's helmet, and we might see an explosion of sacks. We had 45 last season. We might see that go up to above 60, with the press man coverage of Steve Wilkes at the helm. And, hopefully everything works out great. And, Lenore's been struggling, I guess, with the press man coverage. And again, we're talking about practice here. But but we have other corners. We have the rookie Luter Jr. We have him, and I think he was a Steve Wilkes pick because of his style of play and the defense he was in. Steve Wilkes also brought in guys he knows from Carolina that can play press man coverage. So that's going to be a big difference in our defense, I think, moving forward.
Yeah, I think you're right. I really do. I like how you're talking about the press coverage. I think Lenore's on his way out, to be honest. I don't know if he's going to be here to stay. Yeah, he better step it up because, like you're saying, all the other corners can run next to the wide receivers. They can press him. So, good point. Very good point. Good question from Crazy Juice. I can't wait either. Oh man, guys, I cannot wait. Preseason's coming. Training camp's coming. So I'm gonna try to get out there this year. I really am. I'm gonna try to go to training camp this year. I gotta see what the schedule looks like when they drop it and pick a day, a couple days. Hopefully I can do like a Friday, Saturday, or Thursday, Friday game or something. I don't know. We'll see. Maybe I can get Corey to go with me. We'll see. Maybe Corey and me will go to the training camp together. That's what I said. Yeah.
Well, if you catch him on a Saturday, bro. Catch him on a Saturday.
So, guys, it's the 49th episode. Do you guys got any other questions for this great Sunday? We could go a little longer if you want, or we can cut it a little early. But I am super excited. Really am. I think it's going to be a good day. I'm on cloud nine. I have something we could do before we get going. Again, think of a question before we get going, and we'll go around the table. We'll hear what everybody's got going on. But why everybody's thinking, let's ask everybody in the chat. This is a 2022 football pack. I'll give you guys just a couple of minutes to think of a card. There's 8 cards in it. So.
Hey, aren't we missing somebody? We can't open that without somebody, right?
Yeah, I think that's probably right. She'd probably get upset.
It probably wouldn't.
I like my loving.
I wouldn't feel it. I wouldn't feel it right. You know what I'm saying? Like,
all right, that's a good point.
It's her segment.
My, little Vanna White, little Lily. She's sleeping up tonight. Last night she had a sleepover at her grandparents' house, and she should be home already. But guys, Ryan's right. No card today. No cigar. No. So. David, what you got going on today?
A whole lot of rest and relaxation, a little bit of yard work.
All right.
I gotta go trim my bushes down because, well, truth be told, I live in a pretty dry state. It's been wet, but I live in a pretty dry state, and I have a whole bunch of bushes that don't need much water, so I can keep myself in city ordinance because you're supposed to have green, and I don't. And, I don't have a efficient watering system. So during the summertime, my grass unfortunately dies and it becomes weeds. Yeah. But, my bushes keep everything looking good. So I got to go handle those and get those all trimmed back and whatnot.
You go be jumping in the bushes again? Ain't even been like 12 hours.
Hey Corey, what you got going on today? What time's your show later, and what else you got going on for the day?
Well, after I get off here, I'm gonna go fix my breakfast, and then just chill, and then to my show at 7:00 p.m. Pacific time. 10 p.m. Eastern time. I'll be doing that. And then Monday, go to Dallas and come out and be with you and David McNiner.
Yeah, that's going to be a lot of fun. Hey, Ryan, let's go ahead and hear what you got going on. And then I'm going to drop a dad joke. The people want one.
Oh, I got NWO on Monday, and I got Niners and Friends on Tuesday. We got the Rival with Joe Stevens on Thursday, and the Friday night, or the weekly NFL variety show on Friday. Check us out, which you'll see all of us here on Friday.
Oh, yeah.
And
all right, so I'm going to load the dad joke. Yeah, yeah. Because hey, if you guys haven't been here, or if you haven't heard, or you're hearing it first, because we got a lot of new people coming into the stream and stuff. I got a couple new subscribers, so thank you very much. And if you like what you see, join us throughout the week. We go on everybody's show here. But on Friday nights, we have a lot of fun. We do a lot of different things. Talk 49ers, talk life, and we talk, have a lot of good jokes, and it's a lot of fun. And people in the chat are welcome to come. People, we have entertaining guests, we have raps, we have all kinds of stuff. So sometimes you might hear a dad joke. All right. So, what did August say when June claimed that today is the last day of the month? Don't you lie to me. We're going to leave that up there for a second so everybody can read it, let it soak in. Yeah. So, today, I'm going to do a little bit of yard work with my buddy outside. And
I think that could soak into a puddle.
So we're going to do a little bit of stuff around the house. I might go play some basketball with the girls and then get on the show later with Corey and hear the results. I think I might be doing better. I might be getting better at my points. So I'm going to keep using my brain and stop guessing so much. But yeah, then on Monday, we're going to have, we're still working out the time. So everybody just keep out the notifications. But we're going to have Corey come on. And we'll do like a quick, cool 45-minute show with him. And we're going to build the ultimate 49er defense. So please check in and tune in because this is part 2. We have one more part to go after this. We're going to skip Corey for maybe like the next week, have a different guest come in, and then we'll bring Corey back in. But having a lot of fun. So if you guys are interested in hearing about the ultimate defense or the ultimate offense, that episode played about 2 weeks ago. So please check us out. And, I appreciate y'all. I really do. We're going to do a cup giveaway here soon. We're working on that. So maybe we're going to do like a big thumbnail and have everybody try to pump the show when they can come so we can get a nice raffle. And you don't have to be here to win, but you need to be in the raffle. So you have to enter the contest. And I will be putting more notes and notifications out for that. So just stay tuned. And with that, guys, appreciate y'all. Really do. We're going to go ahead and end the show. And chat, thank you guys were fire. You stayed here the whole time. I really appreciate y'all. And again, have a great Sunday. Appreciate you. 49er Coffee Talk. Later, guys.
All right.
Go Niners.